કરો પણ કઈ ને
ગણપતિ બાપા મોર્યા. શું કરે જોઈએ હવે.
છે તો ખરી પાસપોર્ટ.
કાગળિયા છે
પેલા પાસપોર્ટ ખોલ ને, પાસપોર્ટ ખોલ. અહીં તો તારા આપેલો હોય છે. હવે ફેરવતી જાય પાછું.
ફેરવતી જાય કે પેજ જે ઓલું સ્ટીકર હોય ને એ બતાવ.
છેલ્લું સ્ટીકર
ગમે તે સ્ટીકર હોય ને બતાવે એમ તારે વિઝાના. વિઝા ઓલું છે
નહીં તો સ્ટેમ્પ મારેલા છે.
સ્ટેમ્પ ને સ્ટીકર હોય ને
આ જૂના છે.
મલ્ટી એન્ટ્રી ડી આઈ રહ્યું.
આ 21 ને 22 છે.
અચ્છા ઓકે હા વાંધો ને. નેક્સ્ટ
સૌથી છેલ્લે જ 99% બધો જોઈ લે.
સ્ટીકર માર્યું છે.
હા બધું સ્ટીકર તો હવે સમજાઈ ગયું મને. 14 તારીખનું જોવાનું છે ને મારે.
નહીં એમને જોવાનું એમ ન હોય. તું અમને બતાવ.
આ છેલ્લું છે.
અને 23 છે અને પછી હજી
એના પછી નથી કઈ.
હોય જ.
હા છે આવી.
તું બતાવ.
આવી ગયા
વિઝા.
પણ કેટલા આપ્યા?
મલ્ટી વિઝા અત્યારના તને આપ્યા છે 2026 સુધીના.
માર્ચ એન્ડ સુધી રેડી.
આવતા
3 મહિનાના
નહીં એટલે
આવી ગયા. લ્યો
કર બતાવ.
આ લખેલા.
હા ઈ તો
ડિસેમ્બર જાન્યુઆરી નીચે વેબ સ્ટેટિસ્ટિક્સ કાઢ ને બધું આવી ગયું.
ઈ જોઉં છું. ઈ લખેલું છે ને.
આવી ગયું લ્યો. કોંગ્રેચ્યુલેશન્સ
તમારે
વિઝા કે ને
સરસ જો આવી ગયા ને.
આવી ગયા. પરમાનન્ટ લખેલું આવી ગયું.
આને એક વ્યવસ્થિત ફોટો પાડીને મોકલી દે.
પરમાનન્ટ આવી ગઈ એમ.
પરમાનન્ટ થી આવે હવે નો કાઢી શકે કોઈ.
Hi everyone, welcome to our brand new YouTube channel. This is my first video. I am a bit out of my comfort zone, so please be kind. Bear with me. Usually I am on the other side of the camera, not in front of it, behind a computer, PC, laptop, writing emails, doing my own research. So yeah, but this video is extremely important for me because I want to share the whole process of how to bring parents to Germany according to the new law on a long-term basis. And yeah, I want to share all the information, like requirements, documentation, and based on everything on a real use case. So I got my mother the visa, long-term residence visa, so she can come and live with us, me and my brother. And yeah, I hope that after this video you have a good overview of the whole process. What are the requirements, what are the steps to be taken care of, what are the challenges which I faced when I started this whole journey, and of course the health insurance, which is the key part. So bear with me, and yeah, let's start. Let me start with a short background information of my family. So I and my brother have been in Germany since more than 7 years. So I've been in Germany since more than 9 years now, and my brother is in Germany since more than 7 years. So we both came over here for education. So we did our bachelor's and master's from the Hochschule in Merseburg. It's a really small city, and the studies was throughout in German. So I think we have good command over the language. That's usually what the Germans say. I'm not sure if they're buttering or just trying to motivate me. But yeah, I think we do have a good command over the language. Before 3 years, Our father passed away. My father passed away in COVID, and since then, my mother has been alone in Rajkot, Gujarat. And the sole purpose of everything is to bring her over here so she can stay with us, and we can live together. She has already been to Germany more than 5 times now in the past 3 years. So, as you might know, on the tourist base, it's possible to visit Germany twice a year for 90 days maximum of the span. So, let's say from January to March, end of March, 3 months over here, 3 months India, 3 months over here, 3 months India. So this was the status of our visit until now. But last year, March 2024, everything changed for us. So as you might know, there is this new rule which allows parents to come to Germany permanently on the long-term visa. And this was something which kind of gave us hope that, okay, it's possible for us now. I know it's difficult, but it's possible. There is hope. And so we started doing our research. We contacted the authorities. So directly after the rule was opened or published, I got in contact with the officers, and let me show you or provide you an insight about what this new rule actually is. So this is the official German government website where this law is mentioned. So until now, until last year, 2024, there was only one law which used to allow parents to visit to Germany or stay in Germany for a longer period of time, and that is this außergewöhnliche Härtefall. So only in exceptional hard cases it was possible to bring parents over here. I talked with a lawyer. I was in contact with a lawyer for a very long time to find a loophole over here, but unfortunately, it wasn't possible. The lawyer provided me a lot of documents, data, which were published online, papers, research papers as well, where they showed what is the statistic in the case where parents were allowed based on this particular law, law or clause. And yeah, the number of approvals in this case were really low. But the twist last year made it possible for us to bring our mother over here. And this rule is, den Eltern eines Ausländers, den am oder nach dem 1. März 24 erstmal eine blaue EU-Karte, eine ECT-Karte oder eine mobile ECT-Karte oder ein Aufenthaltstitel nach dem Gesetz bla 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 bla. So these are all the clause according to which the work permits are described, and kann ein Aufenthaltserlaubnis zum Familiennachzug erteilt werden. So if a person living over here in Germany gets any of these work permits after 1st of March, can bring their parents permanently long term on D visa to Germany. This states, this is mentioned clearly over here. This also means or applies for the parents of the spouse. So yeah, this gives them the option to bring their parents as well to Germany. There are loopholes over here. There are loopholes. Believe me, over here, I had a loophole in my mind. So let's say in case it wasn't possible based on my brother to bring my mother over here or apply for a visa, I had some loopholes in mind. I am still clarifying, still doing some research, but believe me, there are loopholes, and maybe I'll make a separate video where I provide you information just about these loopholes, which might give the options for others as well to bring their parents to Germany. But yeah, based on this rule, it's possible to bring parents permanently to Germany. This is another website. So this is the visa navigator from Germany. So if you want to check, this is kind of a compass from the German officials to see what kind of visa category you need to file for. And if I do over here, start with the navigator, it shows, okay, how long would you like to stay in Germany? I would say, okay, longer than 90 days. Yes. What nationality do you have? So in my case, it's my mother, so she has Indian citizenship. So that's the third option over here. And then they are asking for the reason, why do you want to enter or stay in Germany? And for her case, it would be the first option over here. So she wants to stay with the family over here. So we'll go for that. And then they will ask which family member would you like to move in with. So on whose behalf or based on whom you want to go to Germany. And that would be child. And over here, this same law is mentioned once again, as you can see. It is possible to apply for the family reunion visa or unification visa. And this is the same law which they're mentioning over here. So over here, it's mentioned about, I think, the hardship and everything. Yes, over here, hardship regulations. And this last two sentences summarize the law which was shown into the previous website. And over here, you can see parents and parents-in-law can immigrate to join the foreign child if the child has a residence permit as a skilled worker, and the age of the, yeah, in this case, the age is irrelevant. So it doesn't matter how old the person, sponsor person is, or also the parent is, age doesn't matter. So that's also a really good point. And the only criteria which needs to be fulfilled is that the permit, residence permit issued to the sponsor person should be after the 1st of March. Should not be before 1st of March 2024, but after 1st of March 2024. Yes, so this is the summary of the law which we used to bring our mother over here. The next step would be, how does the process look like? So let me start with that. The process looks like this. Let me show you before that the conversation which I had with the authorities, consulate authorities, German authorities in India. And over here you can see directly after the law was published, I started the conversation with them to find out what does the process look like, what are the requirements, what criteria needs to be fulfilled, because there isn't a clear information. Nothing is mentioned online. You will not find a clear guideline where it says, okay, follow all these steps and you'll get the visa. Of course, they have checklists and so on, but they aren't clear. So let me show you this. So over here you can see in March 2024, 11th, I wrote them for the first time saying that I found out that this law is published, and I would like to bring my mother based on this law. So please provide me all the information, like, okay, what does the visa application process look like, timeline, the categories, cost, and so on. And then after 10 days, they replied and confirmed that yes, this law allows to bring parents to Germany in no exceptional hardship cases as well. So your parents does not have to be in a worst case scenario to apply for this visa. Although they are fine, they are well, health wise, financially as well, they do not have to show that they are financially dependent on you, or they are mentally or physically dependent on you. Everyone who fulfills this criteria can bring their parents to Germany. And they have confirmed the same thing, that if you got your work permit after 1st of March 2024, you can apply for this. And yeah, they were asking to provide if we qualify for this case or not. So they were asking for the employment titles or employment visa title, and also yeah, I think that's only it. So they are asking for the residence permit to verify if one of us qualifies for this case or not. In my case, as I am a German citizen, it isn't possible at the moment to bring parents based on my visa status. But in our case, it's possible based on my brother because he completed his studies end of 2024, masters, and then got a job. So we also mentioned the same information over here. We provided them the background information about our family and mentioned, okay, my brother is Indian citizen. He will finish his studies. He finished his bachelor's in January and will finish his master's soon, and then he will start with the job. And we would like to apply based on his residential status. And then in April, they confirmed it. So over here you can see the confirmation. Indeed, your brother will be. So this was me doing the whole communication with them. And over here you can see their confirmation. Indeed, your brother will be eligible if he receives one of the above mentioned resident titles after 1st of March. So this was clearly our case. My brother finishes bachelor's in January, and of course he did or he had planned to complete his master's. Actually, he did all the master subjects during the bachelor studies, so he finished his master's on paper within 6 months. So by end of July, August, I think, he finished his master's and started applying for the job, and he got his job by end of December, end of the year. And then he started with all the paperwork to get his residence permit changed from student visa to a blue card. And in January, he had the blue card in his hand. And based on that, we contacted the authorities, the consulate in India in Mumbai, because for us it's jurisdiction Mumbai. So we contacted them once again, saying that please find the documents required, the Aufenthaltstitel, the residence permit from our side, and based on that, they provided us a slot. So you can see over here, they replied us on 28th of January, and they offered us an appointment for 4th of February. So it's like 1 week, and they also provided us the checklist. What are the documents required? I'll show you later what this checklist look like and what are the documents necessary. But yes, over here you can see the whole conversation between consulate and myself. Yeah, this is the slide overview of the checklist. So there was a confusion. They were asking for additional questionnaire. So basically, the documents, this checklist is same as the checklist of a spouse. So if you want to bring your spouse over here and the documents which you require for it, these are the same documents. So they were asking for this additional questionnaire, and over here you can clearly see it's mentioned spouse visa. I think they didn't had a clear workflow roadmap, what the process looks like. They didn't had any specific checklist based on this. So they were creating their a new roadmap, and I think they said, okay, let's stick with the similar workflow. So the requirements over here in this case are almost similar as to the requirements of a spouse visa. But I was confused at that point and wanted to make sure that we are talking about the same thing. And yeah, I asked them, contacted them, and said, hey, do we need to fill out this form? Because they were asking for when did the marriage took place, according to which law, how many people were invited to this marriage. I'll also show you this document later on. And the reply in which we got from them was also not that clear. So first of all, we told them to postpone the appointment to March because we needed some time to prepare all the documents. And yeah, we also asked, okay, if we need to fulfill or fill out this document and bring this document along with us. And the answer wasn't clear. As you can see over here, they are saying also, please carry documents relevant to your mother's application. Yeah. So for the preparation of the documents, it took more than the time which we had planned. I will come to that point. The bottleneck was on preparing a certain document, the birth certificate of my mother, but I'll come to that point later. So yeah, once we had all the documents finished, we contacted them and requested them to provide an appointment, because at that time it wasn't possible to book the appointment via VFS. But in May 2025, they had this category in VFS, so it was possible to book the appointment via VFS. And I'm sure there will be question, what category did we go for, or which category did we had to look for to book the appointment. And this is the visa category. So for us, as I told you, is Mumbai jurisdiction. So, and VFS specifically, there is also a link or a site mentioned from their side where it shows, okay, so this is the site, General Consulate Mumbai, and over here you can see, okay, where do you have to apply if you are applying for certain categories, types of visas. And over here, this is the category which we went for, or which our case was valid for, and it's family reunion visa for parents or other foreigners. And for that, we had to apply via VFS and go to VFS for submitting the documents. So yeah, under the category national visa family reunion, there is an option called, or subcategory called parents or any other family members joining an adult foreigner, or adult German living in Germany. So as I told you, there are some loopholes which I'm working on right now. At the moment, I'm not sure, but I'll post a video if needed down the line. So now let's talk about the documents which are required to apply for this visa category. Share my screen. Yes. So this is the checklist which they provided me via email. So as you can see, this checklist is similar to the spouse visa. The very first document which they are asking over here is the demand draft. So in our case, we prepared the demand draft, and later when we went to VFS, we came to know that it's possible to pay the fees via cards or cash, which we did, of course, because we also had to pay the courier charges. So in our case, we paid the visa fee, although it's mentioned to bring a demand draft, we paid the fee via card. The second point is to get 3 passport photos. So it's, yeah, the 3 basic biometrics passport photos required for the application. The application form itself, let me find the application form. Yes, so this is the same application form which we usually fill out if we want to invite our spouse or anyone else. So if you're applying for a long-term visa, then this is the document or application form which you need to fill out. And yeah, we filled out all the basic information over here, like name, surname, birth date, so on and so forth. Nothing is special. This is just personal information. Then we filled out our information. So they are asking for information of the applicant's children who are aged over 18 years. So we both, so me and my brother, we filled out our information over here, nationality, where we are living, and so on. Then comes the part where we have to provide information about my the parents of my mother, parents, yeah, of my mother. So my grandparents, it wouldn't be grandparents, yeah, parents of my or grandparents or parents of my mother, like this. And yeah, we filled out this information as well. Then there is a section which is asking if my, or the applicant itself, visited Germany ever. So yes, she did visit, as told before, 5 times in total. And yeah, we provided the dates and a place where she stayed. Over here, yes, we have to provide the information where she's going to stay. So it was address of our home, older home actually, where I was living before, and it was a really small apartment, one room apartment. So we filled out this information accordingly. Yeah, you can just go through the details over here. No one was going to accompany her. A reason, the purpose of a stay. And yeah, we filled out why she wants to stay over here. The purpose is family reunification, Familiennachzug, and yeah, because this is the law which allows her to come to Germany. This is also an important point. It's asking if the applicant is intended to stay no longer than 12 months in the federal territory and apply for a visa that covers her entire duration of her stay. So they are asking if she wants to apply only for the amount of time which she wants to stay over here, and is it shorter than 12 months? No, that's not the case. She wants to stay for more than 12 months, and that's why we put a tick over here or cross over here. Information about the reference person, so who is inviting her over here, and in this case it was my brother, so we filled out his information over here because it isn't possible based on my case. Over here they are asking about what kind of experience she has or profession she has, and she doesn't have any professions. She is a housewife. Yeah, over here they are asking for the duration. So this is a really good point. We weren't sure over here what to put over here, what information, what exit dates to put over here. So this was something which we kind of guessed, we thought is correct, because when we were doing the process in our case, so before 9 years, when we filled out the application form, we also had to mention the amount of duration which we wanted to stay over here. And at that time, we put the information like, okay, we want to do our bachelor's, and bachelor's will take 4 years, and based on that, we would like to stay 4 years over here. And then of course we are staying longer than that, and that is why we said, okay, let's put 2 years at the moment and see how everything goes. And yeah, it worked out. So she got the temporary visa for 90 days. So it's this first entry visa for 90 days, D visa for 90 days, and when she's over here, we'll apply for the residence permit. Over here they're asking for, yeah, who will support financially, take care of everything. And of course we both were sponsoring the stay, so we both will be financially responsible for her, although only my brother is officially sponsoring her application. Krankenversicherung, yeah, we do have health insurance. I will come to that point later. And yeah, these are some general fields like have you ever been convicted? Yeah, you put no everywhere. Yes, so this is the application form. There are some barcodes below which I ignored in this case. So this is the whole application form which we filled out, used. Then we come to the personal covering letter. So this is the cover letter from my mother's side, explaining the reason why she wants to come to Germany for this longer duration. And yeah, we defined the purpose over here. As you can see, she already visited us for a longer period of time, and every goodbyes were really hard. And she supported both of our journeys. Of course, my father was also there. He supported us mainly, but my mother was also one who was supporting us in small cases, small topics, small things behind the curtains. And yeah, we mentioned that she would like to stay with us for a longer period of time, not just for a few months. And yeah, the supporting documents are also mentioned over here. So this is the cover letter which you can use, of course. Nothing special. This point is important. The accommodation financial responsibilities, healthcare, and everything will be taken care of from our side. So this is, I think, a point which is really important and needs to be mentioned in the cover letter from the applicant. Then we come to this funny document, additional questionnaire. So as you can see, it's mentioning this document is valid for spouse visa, but yeah, we went and asked them, and they said, okay, yeah, bring all the relevant documents. We wanted to be on the safer side, and yeah, we filled out this document. So it's asking for basic information, nothing special, name of the applicant, date of birth, so on and so forth. So just go through this document. How many guests attended this wedding? So it's like more than 30 years. We did not have the actual number. So we guessed the amount of people who took part in this wedding. We had some photos, of course, so that's important. We didn't have the marriage certificate. We had an affidavit which we presented, mentioning that these two people were married on this date. And of course, we had some photos which we also presented during the application. Yes, so this is the document, the additional questionnaire which they were asking for. Then we come to the invitation letter from our side. So we had, of course, to write an invitation letter and proof of relationship. Yes, so in proof, it's only birth certificate which we have. So in this case, we provided a birth certificate of me and my brother, showing that she is our mother. Yes, so this is the invitation letter from our side, which we wrote, picturing almost the same thing. The goal behind is same. We want to bring her over here to stay for a longer period of time. And yeah, we mentioned the documents over here which we were providing from our side. And yeah, the same thing is mentioned over here as well, that we will be responsible, fully responsible, financially providing her the accommodation, medical needs, all other living expenses, what will be taken care of from our side. The next document is, so this is actually one and the same thing indirectly. They are asking over here proof of relationship with the applicant. So birth certificate of me and my brother. And they were also asking from my mother's side. So they were asking for birth certificate or proof of relationship with the reference person. So from my mother's side, okay, what kind of relationship do you have with the inviting person? So yeah, it's birth certificate and proof of marriage if applicable. So yeah, that isn't required because we are inviting our mother. The next document is death certificate of the spouse. So in this case, we provided death certificate of my father, copy of the death certificate. The next point is resident permit. So we provided a copy of the blue card of my brother and my passport, German passport, my housewise as well. Next point is first and last copy of the stamped visa pages. So when you travel to India or somewhere else, there will be the stamp that you landed over there, and they wanted copies of this entry and exit stamps and all the visas of the inviting person. So me and my brother in this case. Next, what they are asking is work contract of the inviting person. So we provided work contract of me and my brother along with pay slips of the last 3 months. We also provided Meldebescheinigung, So the registration certificate, not older than 6 months. So in our case, it was like we shifted. I was living before in a smaller apartment, and in October, 1st of October, we shifted to a bigger place. And this way we had this document then, which we provided to them. Proof of accommodation. Yeah, so it's like a rental agreement. And of course, the invitation letter. And in the invitation letter, it is already mentioned where the sponsor is or the inviting person is living, and the inviting person is responsible for providing the accommodation. So yeah, that's that point. Birth certificate of the applicant. This is something which kind of took a lot of time from our side because my mother didn't had a birth certificate. So we had to go through a very lengthy process. Um, we had to contact a lawyer over there in India locally who kind of helped us through a court process. So there has to be a legal notice. So we provided a legal notice in the paper saying that, hey, this person is looking for getting a birth certificate. Does anyone have anything against that? And this process needs to be done with the help of a lawyer, and lawyer helped us. And yeah, one month of notice period, 30 days, and then there were 2 or 3 court appointments where we had to bring 2 witnesses, um, and these witnesses had to be older than the person or the applicant, 20 years older than the applicant. So in this case, let's say if my mother is 60 years of age, then the witnesses have to be an age of more than 80 years. So this was something which was difficult. We had to find some reference persons, some witnesses who were happy to be present in the court and yeah, give their statement that okay, this person was born in Rajkot at this time on this date, so on and so forth. Yes, and I think it took around 2 months, and after 2 months we got the birth certificate. The next point is proof of residence in Germany, in India. So it's Aadhaar card, which everyone should have, everyone has. This point doesn't apply in our case because my mother is an Indian citizen. And yeah, the very important point is health insurance. So for health insurance, we went with Feather Health Insurance. Let me share the site. So this is the Feather Insurance which we went for. Under insurance, you see this Expert Health. Click over here. Okay, I'm already on Expert Health, and this insurance fulfills visa criteria for the first time. So this is a really complex point. No one knows. There is no precedent, as I told you before. There is no clear roadmap mentioned which are the insurance which will be accepted from them. I did the research on my own, and according to my imagination, my thought process, we went for this. I thought, okay, this insurance fulfills the criteria which they are asking for. Of course, it's not the unlimited insurance which they are asking for, as mentioned in the checklist, but this is something which was accepted. Maybe this can be because in the invitation or in the cover letter of my mother and also in the application form, we mentioned that we want to be there, or she wants to be here only for 2 years. And this insurance is valid up to 5 years. So this might be something which they consider and say, okay, she wants to stay just for 2 years, let's accept this insurance. We are not sure, but in our case, this is the insurance which they accepted for this initial visa application, of course. And the premium which we have to pay is, just give me a second. So when we applied or got this insurance, these are the documents which we got from Feather. And yeah, over here you can see the laws which this insurance is fulfilling. Over here it's the time frame from when to when this insurance is valid. And this document is something which we presented to the authorities along with the other documents. It is this document, yes. Over here you can see this is the document, the confirmation, and over here you can see the tariff. So we went for the basic tariff, which costs at the moment 72 euros per month. The question is, what happens when she's over here? What insurance they will be asking for? We do not know this at the moment. That is something which I am working on at the moment right now to see, okay, will they accept this insurance? Because I also read somewhere about this weather insurance saying that as long as the person is not working, she can stay on this insurance. I'm not sure. I'm working on this. There are questions which are open for me as well, and once I find an answer for it, I will keep you updated and provide you information on that point as well. Yes, and the last point is a copy of the applicant's passport. So yeah, these are the documents in total which we provided, and that's how the file or all the documents which we submitted look like. Then comes the part where she visited VFS and provided all the documents, submitted all the documents over there. And the processes at VFS was the appointment was shifted. So at the beginning, we booked an appointment for mid of June, and due to some reason, I think during this time in June, there was this Air India plane crash, and I'm not sure if that was the reason the authorities postponed the appointment and provided a new appointment for mid of July. And then in mid of July, my mother and my fiance went to Mumbai for this appointment, and at the beginning it was just my mother who was allowed to enter the center, and she provided all the documents. We helped her prepare all the sequence, so on and so forth, and she provided the documents, the application over there, and the people over there, they were like kind of confused because there was no case where a parent went over there to apply for a long-term visa. So they were confused. They were saying like, okay, is your husband inviting you, or why are you as a parent, as an adult, applying for a long-term dependent visa? So there was some miscommunication over there, and thankfully my mother was able to convince them, and they let my fiance uh, enter the center, and then she took on everything. She discussed why my mother is applying for this long-term application, what is the reason behind it. And then my mother was sitting beside on a sofa relaxing, and my fiance went through all the documents. They were asking for some additional documents which we already had with us. There were some documents which they didn't wanted, but my spouse force them to take these documents, keep these documents, because we had experience where the VFS guys say, okay, you don't need to provide this document at the moment, but later on we were contacted from the consulate, from the authorities, saying that, hey, this document is missing. So thankfully, my fiance was able to handle the situation at the VFS, and yeah, they took all the documents and said, okay, they will forward it to to the consulate, and yeah, we'll get a reply or update after that. So the next part is once the application was submitted, within a week, I kind of started contacting the Ausländerbehörde, the international office in my city over here locally in Rosenheim. And I had a telephone call with them at the beginning to see if they had received the documents and what does the step look like on our side, because we knew that usually in a spouse visa application the authorities contact us and they ask for additional documents, and in this case we wanted to prepare all the documents before she receives the file over here, so this way we don't waste any time. And let me show you the conversation which I had with them. So the appointment was on 14th of July, mid of July, and I think it's after 2 weeks I contacted them and had a really good conversation with them, with the authorities locally, and they explained what the steps look like. So they explained that there is this two-team system. So there's a team in India. So the consulate in India does the verification of all the documents, and once they are satisfied, once they see okay, from our side everything is good, then they will send the application or file to the local authorities in the city where the sponsor is living. So in our case it's Rosenheim. So the file would come over here, and then they would approach us, ask for additional documents, and once we fulfill all the requirements, they will send the final answer back to the authorities in Mumbai, and then they will say yes or no, and then proceed accordingly. So over here, after my telephone call, I tried to summarize what we discussed, and I wanted to stay in contact with her, so I kind of initiated this conversation. And in August, 1st of August, um, end of July, my mother received a telephone call, a verification call from the consulate in Mumbai. Similar to the spouse visa application, they contacted her to verify and see if the case and everything is matching or not. And my mother was successfully, we warned her that she might receive a telephone call for a verification. So she was already mentally prepared, and they asked, who are you visiting? What are your sons doing over there? When did they went over there? So on and so forth. So they kind of did the cross verification, and my mother was successfully able to answer all their questions. So I also informed her that yeah, the consulate contacted my mother, and we were also able to provide all the information by telephone call. And on 5th of August, I got a reply from her correcting that the final decision will not be made. So it was my understanding. I just wanted to make sure that I understood it correct. So she corrected me over here saying that the final decision will not be made over here. It will be the consulate in India. I think it's my feeling that both the parties have maybe equal saying, or 60-40, 60% consulate in India and 40% the local party over here who will say, okay, should we go for the visa or not? So she corrected that point, and also gave us an update that she couldn't see um, the application in this visa portal. On 13th, we were really happy to receive this email, because this kind of indirectly confirmed that the consulate in India gave her made their decision, saying okay, we are okay with providing her the visa over here, and only after that they sent the application to Germany. And she informed me saying that, hey, I have received the application over here, and in this case my brother is the reference person. She cannot stay in contact with me, and all the communications down the line needs to be through my brother. So this was kind of a dead end for me, but thanks to my brother, he took on the communication over here and said that, hey, thanks a lot for helping us until now, and feel free to contact me in case you need any documents. She posted the document which she mentioned over here. She couriered something, a document, kind of a checklist saying what are the documents required locally from our side. We didn't receive it, or it took really long to receive this document, so we requested her to provide us a scan copy, so she did that the same. And the document, which the checklist which she requested, let me share that checklist as well. So this is the document, checklist, which she forwarded to my brother. As you can see over here, this document is addressed to my brother because he is the sponsor who was inviting my mother. So from this time onwards, he was the one who was addressed from the authorities side over here in Rosenheim. So as you can see over here, they are mentioning, okay, Visumsantrag Ihrer Mutter, so visa application of your mother. They're mentioning the same thing over here, that my mother applied at the German consulate in Mumbai for a visa to come dauerhaft, so permanently come over here and stay with us. And she has also received the documents, so the application is reached over here locally. Und damit wir diesen Antrag weiter bearbeiten können, schicken Sie uns bitte von Ihnen und Ihren Haushaltsangehörigen, Klammer auf Bruder, folgende Unterlagen zu. Also she was requesting to provide, she was requesting or asking for the documents which are mentioned over here. And in this case, not only just from my brother, but also from me, because she knew, and we also mentioned it in the cover letter application form and so on, that we both are sponsoring her. So she wanted to make sure that we have a strong financial profile over here. That's also that's also something, like there were a couple of people asking, like saw some chats, messages online where people were asking like how strong has the profile to be in order to support such kind of a financial case. I don't think you have to have an income which is somewhere in 6 digit, a 5 digit good income. It's a category of visa which is given based on the blue card. So the blue card salary itself lies at the moment around 42, 43, 44,000 euros. So I don't think you need a strong profile. Of course, you have a spouse who is already dependent on you, and then on top you are inviting someone else, then they might check, okay, if this person, the sponsor, is able to financially support both of this. But in general, I think there will be a lot of people who are on blue card working over here after their bachelor's and masters on good salary. And with that, I think they can definitely sponsor financially. But in this case, she was asking for both of her documents, so bei Beschäftigung, Arbeitsvertrag, so work contract with 12 months of pay slips. In my brother's case, as he started his job from 1st of January 2025, we didn't had pay slips for the last 12 months. So in our case, or in his case, he provided the pay slip for just last 8-9 months. And of course, I have been working since more than 3 years, so I had payslip from the last 12 months, which I of course provided to them. These two conditions do not apply to us. Wohnungsbestätigung, so like confirmation from your owner that this person is allowed to live over here. I will show you this document. Here is the document. So this is the Wohnungsbestätigung, so confirmation that how big the house is, where the house is located, who is renting the apartment or house at the moment, name of that person, number of rooms, monthly rent which you are paying, and how many people are living in this apartment at the moment. So this is the Wohnungsbescheinigung which you usually need if you are sponsoring your spouse as well. So it's the same thing. So this Bestätigung was required. from the new apartment. So I was living in the one-room apartment, and during this whole application process, I shifted to a newer place before the file reached over here. So she was requesting this document from the new house where I'm living at the moment, this four-room apartment. Of course, the rental agreement, which I had already forwarded to her at the beginning, Selbstauskunft, self-declaration. And the other 2 points are not applicable in my case, because they are asking Nachweis Unterhaltszahlungen. So if you are like sponsoring someone else, so beside my mother, grandparent or kid, whatever the case may be, if I'm paying the finances, or if I'm also financially responsible for another person, that's not the case in our case. So we neglected that. And the last point is like, if you have any credit, so if you took on any loans for housing, for cars, so on and so forth. So if you have any loans, we also have to provide a confirmation of that. And this is a really important point. So I think this email was at the end of August, which we received from us, forwarding us, to be on the safer side. Yes, it was end of August, and we had to wait till 1st of October, because we were moving or getting this new apartment, four-room apartment, from 1st of October. So that's when our contract was beginning. So we had to wait, and until then she couldn't process with our file. So the 4 weeks in this case, the whole September month, we couldn't do anything. And yeah, so we had to wait till we shifted to this new place. We registered ourselves, got this Meldebescheinigung, and then we forwarded her all the documents. And this is the Selbstauskunft, the self-declaration, which was also required. So it's basic information, like if you are married, single, children's, so on and so forth. If you are receiving any Kindergeld, so yeah, that's not the case. Elterngeld. So we didn't qualify for any of this points, so we just left it empty. And over here we crossed 9 everywhere, because we didn't had any Schulden or so. Yes, so these are the documents. So one document from the Hausverwaltung, the owner, this Bestätigung, and we both had to fill this Selbstauskunft separately. So these are the documents which were locally required or asked over here, which we also, of course, forwarded to them. As you can see over here, on 1st of October, we were able to send, we prepared all the documents, and as soon as we got the Bestätigung from our owner, the keys, we went straight to the city center and got the confirmation that we are shifted to this newer apartment. And along with all the documents, we sent this document, this Bestätigung, to the authority locally over here in Rosenheim. And bang, in 30 days, we got the news which we were expecting, because the major part was in India, I think. And yeah, on the 31st of October, we got the confirmation locally over here, of course, that she has provided the positive reply to the consulate in Mumbai, and she also forwarded or attached this confirmation document. Let me show you what that document consists of. Yes, so this is the confirmation. Of course, once again addressed to my brother, confirming that yes, they have replied positively to the application. And of course, the final decision will be made from Deutsche Auslandsvertretung. So in this case, it's Consulate Mumbai. And they're mentioning, once they receive, or once my mother receives this temporary entry visa, and she is over here, she traveled to Germany, we have to do this local registration. And then, of course, we have to apply for the actual residence permit. And these are the documents which she mentioned. are required for getting this residence permit. So as you can see over here, it's the basic application form which needs to be filled out, signed, copy of the passport, my mother's passport, copy of the visa, this entry visa for 90 days, and Einreisestempel, so this immigration stamp that she has traveled to Germany. Lohnabrechnungen, so our salary slips, of course, to see if we still have a job and we can finance her stay. And the big point, the crucial point is like Nachweis Krankenversicherung, so like what kind of insurance. So a confirmation that she has a valid insurance, but they haven't mentioned what kind of insurance is required. So as mentioned before, this is something which we are working on right now. There are a lot of loopholes on the insurance side as well. Believe me, there are loopholes over there. I talked with AOKA, and they were able to provide some positive information, but it needs to be clarified in detail. So once my mother is over here, we'll start intensively clarifying all these things. Of course, we have some backup insurance, a private insurance provider with whom we have talked with, and yeah, that's something which we can only answer with surety when we ourselves have gone through this process. So you have to wait to get an answer on it, like what is the actual insurance which we got for this long term, how much the premium is monthly which we are paying. And in our case, like let's say if the insurance, I mean, we are already prepared to pay insurance 1,000 euros per month, because we are two people at the moment. So me and my brother, we both will be financing. My mother will be staying with us, so we don't have any additional costs in that regards. And the only point is insurance. So let's say if the insurance is 1,000 euros, then we both will share the cost. It's like 500 euros per person at the moment. I will be getting married down the line, and in January to be precise. So I am flying to home in 3 weeks, in 2 weeks. So I have to do all the preparation. That's why I couldn't answer all the questions. So sorry for that. I know how important it is for you all to get this information to make really important, crucial decisions. But yeah, I tried, and now I have this video finished finally. So you have all this information. But yes, I will be busy the next couple of weeks, months. And once I'm married, once my spouse, my wife will be here, she will of course work part-time, full-time. My brother will get married, he will work, and then we'll be four people at the end of the day who will be financing just the insurance part. Of course, there will be other expenses, but yeah, the expenses are not that big then, like living expenses, food, so on and so forth. So after we received this confirmation locally over here, that they have approved the visa and they have forwarded this decision to the consulate in Mumbai. The Mumbai authority required or took, I think, around about 3 or 4 days to courier the passport at our home. And in 3 or 4 days, my mother received the stamped passport, mentioning that it's a D-type visa valid for 3 months. And yeah, we're really happy and relieved to get this temporary, not temporary, but this entry visa. And now after my marriage, which is in January, we'll be flying back all together in February. And in February we'll start with the further steps, further process, like converting her temporary, or this, yeah, temporary 30 days or 90 days residence permit into the actual residence permit. And then we'll see how everything goes on from there, like insurance, the requirements, the time which they will be taking. And yeah, of course, there will be some challenges, I'm sure, but we'll able to find some solution. We are optimistic. We found a solution to get this temporary or this first visa, and I'm sure we'll find a solution so that she can stay permanently over here with us. Yeah, so that's the whole feedback or overview from our side. So this is what the whole journey looked like. As I told you, I started as soon as the law was opened, published. It took 1.5 years, more than 1.5 years, to get this stamped passport in our hand. The journey wasn't that easy. There were some sleepless nights, lot of research, lot of YouTube research, lot of going through the official sites, going through some Reddit posts, also staying in touch with the authorities, contacting some lawyers over here at the beginning, of course, to see if there is a solution to bring the parents over here. But finally, as the new law was introduced, we were able to bring or apply for the visa based on my brother. And yeah, I'm really happy that I could share all this information with you, help you guys, because I know how important this point is. There will be people who are in similar situation, who are financially in a good stage, in a good position to finance this private insurance, which costs €1,000, let's say. But they do not know if there is an option, if there is a law which allows them or allows their parents to file this application. I hope this information helps you. If there are any questions, do not hesitate to contact me. Write in the chat. I will try to answer or make another video if there are a lot of open points or questions. Yeah, I think there is one more point. I went through of course, all the almost all the Facebook comments. Thank you for all the positive comments. There were some negatives as well, but it's part. I couldn't answer all those questions because it's a lot of information and sometimes there is no clear answer. So I extracted. Let me share my screen once again. So I try to extract all the questions from the Facebook chat, and yeah, I'll do a quick Q&A. So this way, if I missed something in the video, as I told you, this is first time. I'm sure I might have forgotten a lot of things, but I will go through these questions really quick and answer them bullet point wise. So this way, if I forgot something, you have this answer from my side. So what is the exact visa category which you applied under? So I showed you beginning that the category which we used is this new law, which allows parents to apply for long-term visa. This law was introduced in 2024 based on the blue card. Not only the blue card, but in general, anyone getting the work permit, employment work permit after March can bring their parents. Is this visa related? Yes, this visa is related to the new blue card rule. Is this a permanent visa or 90-day? So at the beginning, you get a 90 days D permit, D visa. So it's an entry visa at the beginning. You don't get directly the visa for 1 year. So this is the entry visa, but it's a long-term visa. So once she is over here locally, we have to apply for a residence permit. And then this residence permit will be issued for 1 year, 2 year, or so on. Why is the visa issued? So yeah, this answers the question. Is this a family? Yes, family reunion visa. What is the eligible criteria? So anyone getting their first work permit mentioned in this law after March 2024 can bring their parents. So that's the only eligibility criteria. No finances, no hardship needs to be shown. You do not have to show that there is no sibling. So let's say if there is one child over here, another child in India, then you do not have to show that, or you can apply for the visa of your parents. You do not have to show that why is one child over here and he or she cannot support the parents over there. So no additional requirements in this case. It's just you get your permit after March 2024 and that's it. Is German citizenship excluded from sponsoring parents? So this is a gray zone at the moment, as talked before. There are some loopholes. I'm working on it. I think I'm really sure, but this is just my opinion, my understanding. I think there is a loophole which allows also German citizen to bring their parents based on this new rule. But I'm working on it, and I might do another video where I talk just about the loopholes. Why could your brother apply but knew? Already talked about this. Is this visa only for dependent parents? Yes, just for blue card. No, not only just for blue card holders, but as mentioned in this law, that there are other work permits as well. Mentioned this law, 18A, 18B, 18C, 18D, so on and so forth. So everyone, you do not have to explicitly get this blue card, but if you get another work permit as well, it's possible. Is it possible to bring both the parents? Yes, it's possible. There is no law mentioning, okay, only if one parent is alive, or if one parent is old, both of those parents. If you can finance them, finance the insurance of both the parents, then you can bring both the parents. Do parents need German? No, they do not need German, thank God. It's not possible after a certain age to grasp the language, so that's not a requirement. Do we need to prove hardship? No, no hardship needs to be proved in this case. Do you need to show that you have no siblings? No, you do not have to show that. Is it possible to apply directly in Germany? It needs to be applied from India. Every visa needs to be applied from the home country where you are living, or where the applicant is living. Does health insurance, public, private, affect visa acceptance? So, from my understanding, from all the research which I did until now, you cannot get a public insurance at the beginning. That's not possible. So you have to go for this private insurance. In our case, it was feather insurance. There are other insurance providers as well, like Care Concept and so on. But at the beginning, when you are applying, you cannot get a public insurance. Down the line, if you can get or not, that's unclear. I'm working on it. But at the beginning, you have to go for this private insurance, and only after that you can apply for the visa. Application process, full step-by-step process. I hope I was able to explain this whole process. What documents I required? I think I answered this point as well. How long does the process take? I think I had timeline. So the appointment was timeline mentioned in the email which you saw. So we applied. The appointment was in mid of July, and we got this confirmation at the end of October. So 2.5 months in total, and we had to wait 4 weeks because we didn't had a bigger house. If we had the bigger house, we would have saved these 4 weeks, and then we might have gotten a reply within 5 to 6 weeks. Did you use a lawyer? If yes, which one? No, just for the application, the visa application, we didn't need any lawyer. The process is really simple, really easy. So yeah, no lawyer was required on that point. Lawyer was required, but just for getting this birth certificate. That's an important point. Which Ausländer Behörde handled your case? So in our case, Ausländer Behörde in Rosenheim handled our case. What did you choose when booking the visa appointment category? I think I showed a screenshot. It's a dependent visa, national dependent visa, and parents. There's a category called parents of adults, international Ausländer, and Germans as well. Is Anmeldung in Germany required before applying for residence permit? Yes, if I understand this question correct. So my mother has to be over here, and we have to do this registration locally that she is living with us, and only after that we can apply for this residence permit. Is it easier or possible to apply in India versus Germany? You have to apply from India. From Germany, it's not possible. Which residential house square meter requirements apply? So I think there is a law that one person needs around about 10 to 12 or 13 square meter, quadrat meter, and we have a house, it's 87 quadrat meter, and will be 4 at the moment living over here. My spouse, of course, got the confirmation, so that's something which I didn't mention or talked about in this video. At the same time, when the authorities were working on the case of my mother, I also applied visa for my wife, for my spouse, and the Ausländerbehörde over here had 2 files from us, one for my mother and one for my wife. And so in my wife's case, they already had the document. They were asking for the same documents. So in her case, she applied on 8th of October, and we got her visa by end of October as well. So it took 30 days for her to get the visa, beginning of November maybe. But yeah, in her case, it took 30 days to get the visa. And yeah, so there is a requirement. You have to have this minimum cubic meter, square meter available per person. We have 87, so we fulfilled that criteria. What income is required to sponsor? There is no clear rule, but from my understanding, if you have this blue card, they are asking for blue card or work permit. If you have that, if you can afford insurance for one person, 1,000 euros, 1,200 euros, whatever it may be, it can also be lower, whatever the insurance may be. If you are able to finance that on top of all the expenses which you have, then I think you are in a safer zone and you will get the visa approved. What funds did you show? We didn't show any funds, so it was just our incomes, pay slips, and work contract which we showed, and based on that they provided the approval. Did you have to declare mother as dependent? I don't think so. So this was just a wish, interest from our side that she wants to stay with us. That's it. We didn't provide any medical argumentation that like she is mentally sick or physically not in the position to survive alone. Nothing on that regards. It's just she wants to stay with us. Over and out. Is this tied to your brother's blue card dates issued after March? Yes, this is tied up to my brother's blue card issuance date. Health insurance. How much does the health insurance cost per month? So at the moment, this temporary or this weather expert health insurance costs 72 euros per month. Later, we'll see. I saw there are cases where the insurance starts from 650 euros going up to 1200 euros. So we are working on that point. I do not have a clear answer for that at the moment. Which provider? Feather health insurance for this initial stage, already answered that point. Visa application. In our case, yes, it was accepted. It is accepted. Is Feather only valid for the first 3 months as travel insurance? I don't think so, because on their website it's mentioned that it's valid for 5 years once you are landing over here. And also I have seen cases, I know people who are coming on this opportunity card, and they had the same insurance, Feather insurance, not only just for the beginning of the stay or for the application process, but throughout this 1 year they are at the moment as well on this Feather insurance living and just paying 72 euros. So I think it's possible to stay, but I will check and get back to you. After arrival, did you switch? She's not over here, so we cannot answer this point. How did you get a policy with unlimited coverage and unlimited duration? Feather is providing just for 5 years at the moment. There is an option called extended package where there is no limitation. So that might be an alternate. I don't know. How much did you pay initially for the insurance? 72. Already answered that point. Why do public private insurers refuse to insure older persons? No idea. What options exist if a parent has pre-existing conditions? You have to talk with the insurance provider. How is insurance handled for retired parents? If you're talking for this initial insurance, the process is really simple. There are few details which you have to fill in. They are not asking for any pre-existing conditions. They are not asking for anything else. Just how old is the person, basic information, where the person is coming from, how long the person will stay, I think, or when the person will arrive over here. That's it. And then you can get this initial insurance, Feather insurance initial, which costs 72 euros. 72 euros. What's about the long term? I'm not sure. Does your mother's pension affect insurance eligibility? My mother is not getting any pension in India at the moment, so cannot answer that point. Is whether an expert or private insurance? At the moment, expect. How did you manage the insurance for the residence permit stage? We are working on it. Cost, adaptation, miscellaneous. How much total did the entire process cost? So insurance didn't start it. So at the moment, You're not paying anything for the insurance. It will start once she lands over here. Visa, I think the fee is somewhere around 10,000 rupees, Indian rupees, similar to what you pay for the spouse visa. Travel, yeah, tickets, depends where you live in India. Additional costs. So for this birth certificate, we have to pay lawyer fees, court fees, which was around about 20,000 rupees, I think. Locally over here in Germany, we didn't have to pay anything. Yes, that's it. So the cost is bearable, I think. But of course, once she's over here and once we have to get this long-term insurance, the cost might increase heavily. The cost of translation, we didn't had to translate any documents because everything which we provided was available in English or German. Yeah. How will parents adapt to German healthcare? Yeah, that's a really good point. So my mother has been already to in Germany 5 times. She has been in severe winter cases. Maybe I will post some pictures at the end where you see we are in Switzerland, we are in Bavaria, in Munich, in mountains, locally over here as well, where it's heavily snowing. It's really heavily snowing, and we are enjoying the weather. We are enjoying the snow. We are playing around, shooting videos, taking photos, and my mother, thank God, touch wood, never got sick just due to the cold. And that is why we didn't until now we didn't had to go and visit a doctor, but I'm not sure. I cannot answer that point at the moment. I mean, logically, if you think I have been living, you might have been living, or you are living in Germany, how do you cope up with the healthcare system over here? How will they adjust to the culture, weather, language, social circle? So we have a really good group over here in Rosenheim, couples with whom we are really, really close. Culture wise, for her it's important to stay with us. So right now she's alone in India. She has to do everything on her own. We have to help her from here. So we are talking with her 3 times per day. If there is something which is wrong, paying off electricity bill, a gas bill, so on and so forth, if anything breaks down, we have to take care of everything from here. Because my father took care of everything until the last 3 years, until my father passed away, and after that we had to take care of everything. So it was a big headache for us to take care of everything from here because our hands were tied. We had to talk with people, we had to guide our mother to find a solution. So it was really frustrating for us to help her from here, and I think it would be a lot easier for us if we have to help her over here, because we'll be over here and then I think we can find solution to a lot of challenges. Culture wise, yes, it's different, but she has been she has stayed 2 years, I think now, 5 times, 3 months, almost 2 years, and I think she is used to the culture. Mm, of course, we miss or she will miss the festivals, but all in all, I think, yeah, she is satisfied, and her first priority is to stay with us, to spend her life with us, and yeah, grow together. Weather-wise, I don't think the severe weather over here affects her at the moment, but yeah, I don't know how her body will cope up once she is older and once the temperatures go down to minus 10, 12. But at the moment, she didn't face the problem. And there is one more point, like, let's say if she comes over here, she does not have to stay whole year every time over here. It's not like she cannot leave Germany. She can leave Germany. That's also our thinking. Like during the severe weathers, festives time, she can travel to India, stay over there for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and get this change from Germany, this culture. So that's something which we also have planned. Like, let's say if the weather is really severe over here, if she misses the culture, the environment, the relationship, then she can of course travel to India, stay over there 3 months, 2 months, how long, however long she wants, and then she can come back over here. Important is that she has a place, this option to stay permanent over here and choose when she wants to go back to India and come back to Germany. So this is the flexibility which we wanted, and this is something which we will get now by getting this long-term visa. Social language. It's like, of course, one of us has to be there with her when she goes outside. But I think, yeah, that's a compromise. That's a compromise which we need to make, which we have to make. Yes, the point regarding social circle. So, as I told you, we have really good friends, close friends over here from Gujarat who bring their parents, of course, for visits as well. There is now a big community in Munich, Gujarati community, as well. Of course, there are other communities as well where there are get-togethers organized. We are celebrating almost all the festivals over here, so of course she can take part, socialize with others. There are of course parents of a lot of Indians visiting during such kind of seasons, so she can get in contact with them. She is a really good social person. She is open, likes to connect with others. There are also some kind of activities privately organized. So let's say from this Gujarati community in Munich, they are organizing Gujarati teaching classes where there are people, Gujaratis over here, providing free of cost language teaching, language coaching. And this is something my mother would be really happy to provide. And this will be something which will kind of keep her day busy, have some activities in her day. And I think once she is involved in this kind of environment, there will be a lot of opportunities. I think how she can keep herself busy. Of course, helping us over here will be a really big plus point if she helps us in our day-to-day life. If she can physically, that would um, give us free time, of course, to focus on other things, work on other things. So I think it's a win-win situation for all of us. Are there Indian senior communities or support groups? I don't know, but I think down the line there might be some communities where elder people get together and kind of carry out different activities. Yeah, I think this is answered in the last couple of minutes, so I'll skip that question as well. Is the picture you posted actually the long-term visa? Yes, the picture which I posted is a long-term visa, but it's just this entry visa, which is usually 90 days at the beginning. If you're living in bigger cities like Munich or Berlin, they will provide you initially this entry visa for 6 months, because they know that the waiting period in these big cities is really long, so it's difficult to get an appointment and visa extended within this shorter period of time. Do you have a YouTube channel? Working on it. I don't know if I should create a YouTube video channel or is it a one and done deal. I don't know, but yes, I'm open to it. But let's see. Will you post a detailed video? This is the detailed video. Can you please DM? Can people DM you for details? I already got 50, I think, more than 50 private messages on Facebook. I haven't posted it on Instagram, I think. If I post over there, then there will be a lot of DMs, and it's difficult. I will be busy the next couple of months, weeks, but I will try to, if there are, I mean, I almost covered all the points, basic points. But if you have any special questions or want me to go through your one-to-one case, I might create a one-on-one sessions, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Do you have lawyer for recommendation? No, not over here in Germany. At least not a lawyer who can help you with this process. As I showed, the process itself is really easy. Just go through the documents, the documents, yes, prepare all the documents, and yeah, contact the international office, the consulate in Munich and Mumbai, and go for it. Yes, so that's it from my side. I hope I was able to provide you a good overview of the process from first to last step, provide you what are the requirements, was able to answer all your questions, or maybe some of your questions, was able to clarify some queries which you had, common queries which a lot of people had, and provide you a hope that it's possible. It's possible. You have to be patient. Of course, finance is something which you have to see if it's possible. Not everyone can support. I really understand. I can definitely understand that point. It's not easy to get 1,000 euros plus or minus every month, and yeah, get a private insurance for the parent. So but yeah, for me it was important that you have all this information from my side to make this decision on your own. If it's something for you or not, it's up to you. And the questions which are open, for sure I will try to keep you up to date, maybe create another video regarding loopholes as talked before, maybe create a video if there are questions regarding a German citizen marrying to an Indian citizen. What was the process, what are the documents which are required, some tips and tricks on that side as well. Feel free to comment, and I might create a video. And yeah, once we are back in February, I'll for sure start with the research and get on with the paperwork. And once I have answers to the open questions like long-term insurance, how long was the residence permit provided to, and yeah, what does the process look like? For sure, I will keep you update, and yeah, help you to get on with this process on your own as well. Thank you, and peace out. Goodbye.